balls.
You meet the Water Witch. Roll credits. Roll for new characters next week.
There we go.
So would the end of that then be Finn?
Oh my God, that's too funny. That was well done. That was well done. Well played. All right. Let's get out of the recommendations. Let's get over to game shortcuts. Let's get into our group, which is the Brothers Bond. Boom. 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 Boom.
Looked on Twitch and there's a channel called Secret Sleepover Society.
I am not even remotely surprised. Type in hot tub on Twitch. Type in lingerie on Twitch, and it's like you are this close to micro bikini on Twitch. You can get that one on Facebook too, and they will actually let it get through. And they are like pieces of fabric this big. And they're modeling them, and I'm like, yeah, tell me this is not like, you know, and it's available to children because it's just education. We're just modeling. We're not targeting them. And I'm like, are you crazy? And I got no problem with a young lady wanting to display her body and whatnot. But I'm like, think about the avenues, though. Where are you doing this? Literally, you're in the middle of Facebook. November 27th. So missed y'all last week when we couldn't play. Glad to be here with you tonight. We're going to be picking up tonight right where we left off last 2 weeks ago, actually. The party had circled. They had gotten away from Baba Yaga's after burning the place down, after crashing a war chariot into it. Gotten away, followed the Water Witch downhill, downstream, so to speak. Had a very surprising moment where Benren decided that sleeping under the water when he can't breathe underwater is a good idea. His new girlfriend really thought he looked good sleeping under there. Luckily, they were able to bring him back and chase off the Water Witch, and the party got back together, thank goodness. At which point, they decided to go back up to Baba Yaga's, or Baba Lysaga's, pardon me. They decided to go back up to Baba Lysaga's, where they found the witch going through the remains of her home that they had destroyed when she had taken them in. The Water Witch actually came from these guys deciding that they knew better than the owner of the house and releasing the witch, who they were told in advance was a witch, but decided to do their own thing anyway. Promptly the witch put them in spells, and one thing led to another. And so then they came back to the woman whose house they helped destroy when Brock decided to, when he was asked for help, decided, I'm just going to throw other crap into the cauldron, stir shit up, create problems, and hence we got a big boom. And the house is now destroyed. But they also knew, they had learned from John's new character, Zestron, that the source of evil, a book that was being looked for, was somewhere in these ruins. So while the witch was going through and finding what she could salvage, they were looking for things too that they might steal from this woman that they now had made destitute. And John found exactly where the book was, found that it was still there, and in a matter of utter stealth, would have made Dak really proud, gets the book out and then tucks it in its metal case so that it's still protected beneath some other collapsed, somewhat burning, smoldering debris, but outside of the hole in which it was. And did you guys put anything in the hole? I don't remember.
Brock had like a rod or a scepter or something, I thought.
I ended up putting that on the pile.
Yeah, that's right. And when you did that, that's when Dak slid the case under.
Yeah. That was the black onyx walking stick with the head shape on it of a person and whatnot, about 3 foot long, so he couldn't just secret it away. And so he decided that, Oh, put it on the pile. Thank you very much for that, Chic Geek. Love you too. Glad to have you here tonight, and glad that you just did your little, what was it, a subscribble? Yeah, a subscriber, it says. Well, it says subscribble up there. I don't know. She just cheered. That was it. Showed the love for 10. I had to look over at the chat. Thank you for that. We love you too. So that picks us up on where we left off, right? Yeah.
Yeah, should.
Pretty much.
Debris, Baba Lysaga.
Yeah, because we tried taking a short rest after the water witch, and we found out we weren't healing.
And Benren, you remember the conversation you were having that you were like really drilling her on?
Drilling her.
Yeah.
Her
Baba
on?
Lysaga.
Oh, about the hand and reattaching it, and what was it, Saint Rupert's hand?
It is. It's
And
Saint Rupert's hand.
Mad, yeah, he was putting him back together, trying to get all the pieces. And I got the location of the abbey and all that.
Yeah.
Or yeah.
There was no putting people back
Well,
together to get all the pieces. That's a nice addendum. I like the idea.
Yeah.
But Miracle Max or Mad Max was specifically looking for the hand. She had confirmed.
Yeah.
And you were like, why? What's he looking for it for? And she goes, how the heck do I know? Go ask him. But I like the way you filled in that blank with he's assembling all the pieces. I like that. That's good. We can work with that. We'll make Mad Max into a Frankenstein guy. Dr. Max.
It's alive.
See, the best ideas come from your players. Never squash those. It's like, wait, why did we suddenly start doing this? All right, but what we're here for, if we remember, why are we in the Mornland?
Because we took the wrong way through the door.
That is it. Yes, in a nutshell. Because you guys, ultimately, your quest is to regain all the magical items for the goblins and whatnot, but you are trying to be a party together. You've lost Dak. The Zestron guy has now showed up. You're kind of meeting him in some strange circumstances, along with all the dead bodies of all the Luxodons around him. So clearly this infernal-looking tiefling guy has a lot of death, which probably fits really well with Torstein's outlook on life. Kill them all. Dab them. Dead. Kill. Yes?
He's never looted Luxodons before, so he's gonna have to check that out.
That's it. He's like, let me into that machine, that infernal war machine. Make it my own. You got a haircut, didn't you, Brock? Looks good.
Thank you.
Or did you just add highlights to make it more blonde?
Both.
Looks good. Looks really good. If I highlight my head anymore, that bald spot's just going to start shining, so we're not doing that. I'll end up being like Chris Perkins and just wearing a hat all the time. You never see Chris Perkins without a hat for that reason. He's like, went bald early, and that's my deal. I'm wearing a hat. I'm like, okay, bud. It's all good. I love it. Be true to who you are, man. What makes you happy? All right. I know we have an ad break coming up, but I'm ignoring the ad break, and we're going to keep going. We record this for the lulls anyway. Baba Lysaga is working away. She's over there being distracted by Benren as Torstein, you throw your stick onto the group, and Zestron, you've just slid this underneath. She's a little frustrated with Benren, and so ends up with his incessant talking. She's like, nah, 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 go away. And then she goes back over and starts going through some of the stuff. And not for the first time, you're surprised because while she looks older, every single one of you have noticed that she's way stronger than she appears. When she starts moving things like some of the timbers and other stuff, like even when it was time for that cauldron and whatnot, and she asked for your help, again, she's got a lot of strength. So you know she's not merely a little old lady, but you haven't thought that since the first moment you met her when she was casting spells and flinging them out the door. So as you do, she starts moving some things and you can hear her grumbling, where is it? I've got to find this and whatnot. And she looks over at Zestron, who's kind of like looking around like, I'm not doing nothing over here. She goes, you, here, help me look, help me move this. And she goes over to the log, which is somewhat wedged, and she can't quite push it because so much of the roof has collapsed. And she's asking you to help move the log back from the area where that hidden compartment is, Zestron.
I will go over there and do an absolutely terrible job of helping.
as you do, go ahead and you start flopping around so much of it that the next moment you're on top of it, your feet slip out from you on the dust and whatnot. It doesn't take long at all before she's like, oh, God, I would have thought those claws would be useful for something. My God, how did you ever survive in hell this way? Finally, she ends up pushing you away, getting frustrated. In her anger, she hunkers down, squats, and squat lifts this beam. You know, she doesn't grunt, but she moves close. And you see as she grabs it, her fingers start flexing, veins bulge on the back, and she pushes this thing for about 1.5 feet with part of the roof till part of the floor is clear. And then she goes, oh, Granny's back. She goes, oh my goodness, I expected you youngins to help me out. She goes, oh, now I don't even have a broom. And she takes part of her, I guess you could call it a dress, but it's really patched together. And she starts using her dress to sweep away at this floor. And then she stops momentarily and looks around at the three of you. What are you doing?
I'm looking for a shovel in the rubble.
Okay. How about you, Zestrin?
Forsyth takes note of the strength that she just displayed and comments on it and says, wow, that is some phenomenal strength you possess.
She looks at her surprise. Oh, it was loose after that tiefling fell on it. She goes, he must have banged it a little bit loose, but thank you. When I was younger, I used to be in a little bit better shape. Zestrin, how about you? Oh, I think his camera froze up. That must mean he's jammed up on the internet. Oh, all of us are froze. It's me. Oh, really? Really? It's going to be one of those days? I see. Great. Wow. I can see this is going to go well. I can see this now. And then black monitors. All the internet is out. Yeah. You're off to school. All right, have a good day. Thank you again.